I am currently on board the bulk carrier, and that is the accommodation. All the vessels have an accommodation looking similar to this, maybe a little bit bigger. And that is my cabin, the one that I am pointing right now, the electrical officer cabin. It's on the second floor, the B deck, the third window on the right. And this is the view that I have from my window when we are in open seas. It's pretty nice. Welcome on board, guys, for another vlog. Today I will take you with me inside the cabin of the electrical officer. For those who are here for the first time, I work as an electrical officer on board the commercial fleet around the world. Sometimes container vessels, bulk carriers, chemical tankers, product tankers, and so on. So today I will take you with me in my cabin on board a bulk carrier of 50,000 deadweight. Tomorrow I will sign off. That is why you are seeing the garbage bags over there and my luggage. I want to clean the cabin to make it nice for the next guy that is coming after me, because that is a good practice. If you are coming on board anytime soon for the first time, you should do this for your colleagues, and they will do the same for you. If you are staying a long time in the same company, people will know that you are the dirty guy or you are the clean guy, and it's better to have a good impression among your colleagues, because you know, people talk. So after I clean everything here, the next morning I have to sign off, and I thought that I will show you the cabin since it's nice and clean now. This is the bathroom. It's nothing fancy, just a toilet and a shower. In the bucket over there I keep some chemicals to clean the shower head, to clean the toilet bowl. Behind the mirror I have my soap and toothbrush and toothpaste and things like that. And now let's go around. This is the whole cabin. All the cabins look like this if you are either a rating or an officer. This is something that I manufactured myself, just another place to store my gloves and some tools. You know, I like to be practical. In that bucket over there I keep my dirty clothes, and then I go to the laundry room, and over there I have some water, and those are the garbage bins. Of course I will clean everything, I will not leave it like that. Those are some spare overalls. I have cleaned them already, and I will leave them for the next guy. Sometimes they will not have on board spare new overalls, so I don't want to carry them in my luggage. I am going home, I have no use of them. Some of them are new and some of them are cleaned, and I just leave them for the next guy. If he does not want them, he can just throw them. I just don't want to put them in my luggage again, because I have my own things to carry home. So this is the cabin. That is the bed. You have a sofa, your desk, and a small fridge, just to put some water inside or some soft drinks. That is one of the perks of being an officer. The company usually does not supply a fridge in the cabin of ratings, but from my experience you can buy it with your own money. I think it's about $50 or something like that. Of course it depends on the area around the world where you are. If you are somewhere in Asia, maybe it will be even cheaper than that. Usually the people keep the cold water in engine room or in the mess room, and in the cabin you just use it at room temperature. You don't want to get sick while on board. If you are seeing me a little bit sweatier than usual, the reason is simple. The AC on board the vessel is defective, and we do not have the spares to repair it at the moment. They will come the next day. The ship chandler already confirmed, as you can see in the cabin now, 33 degrees Celsius. But this is just for a few days, 1-2 days. Tomorrow, like I said, the ship chandler already confirmed that the spare parts are coming on board, and the electrician that is coming will replace this. In about 1 or 2 hours everything will be back to normal. Sometimes you can expect things like this to have a defective AC unit. The bad part was that we were unlucky enough to be in a hot area without the aircon, and we had to suffer a little bit, but it's fine. This is what we are paid for. We have a huge salary, and sometimes the conditions are not so great. Maybe you have a defective aircon in a hot area, maybe the food is not so great, maybe you have pirate attacks, and so on. Things are tough, and the seaman life is not for everybody. Just keep that in mind if you want to start doing this job. Yes, you will get a lot of money in a short time, but you have to expect things not to be amazing like they are back home. So this is the cabin. Everything that you see here is everything that I own. This is your house. This is where you live, and you have to make it your own. Don't be a stranger. Put posters, put pictures with your family, put everything around just to make you feel safe and feel like at home. Because you have to survive for many months. This is not like a hotel room where you go for 3-4 days, you know. You have to expect that you will stay here for many months, and you have to make it as comfortable as possible. Sometimes you will have bad weather, you cannot rest properly, but these are the conditions. As you can see, I already have here where to store my clothes. I already packed them for the moment because, like I said, I'm signing off tomorrow morning. But and down here you can see the life vest, and in the back there is the immersion suit. Every cabin has something like this, and my advice to you, if you are coming on board for the first time, is to test them. When you go inside the cabin, just test them and fit them to your size, because when you will have a drill, the captain will ask everybody to be secured with their equipment and to know exactly what to do and how to use it. And it is better to know exactly what you are doing. You know, you will give a good impression to the captain that you are hardworking and you are taking your job serious. As you can see, the cabin is not very big. Here is another place where I store my books. Like I said at the beginning, I am an electrical officer, and the books that I consider very important I keep with me in my cabin. Sometimes when I have free time, I check the books. If there is an electrical problem, I check them in my cabin. Of course, there are copies. We have PDF copies in the computers in the engine room and on the bridge, and there is another physical copy just like those books in the chief engineer cabin. So if you have any people that want to do something bad, like throwing overboard those books, you cannot get away with something like that. We have copies everywhere, so please don't be a bastard. And this is the cabin that you will find on board the vessel. This is the commercial fleet, like I said before. If you have never been on board, that is the phone where I receive all my phone calls when there is a problem in the engine room. This is the cabin, like I was saying, in the commercial fleet. If you are going anywhere on the passenger vessels and you are not an officer, you will stay together with other people. The cabin will not be your own, and most of the time you will share the bathroom, which is not so great from my point of view. but it depends from person to person, of course. As you can see, the sofa is opposite position to the bed, and this is a good thing because the ship, most of the time, this is not a house, it's not steady. The ship is moving and sometimes is rolling because we have storms, and if the ship is rolling, you cannot rest properly in the bed. So then you can just sit in the sofa and you can rest. It doesn't matter that you are not feeling so great in the morning, you cannot have a proper rest, but at least you can have a few hours of sleep. I have been on vessels, usually old vessels, and the sofa was in the same position as the bed. And you can imagine it's useless, because if the ship is rolling, then you cannot have a proper rest, and if you don't have a proper rest, then you cannot do your job properly. Most seamen, when they are going through a storm, they will just take their bed sheets and put them on the floor. Usually the lower you are on the floor, you can sleep better. As you can imagine, life is difficult at sea, it is not for everybody, and after your first experience you will know if this life is for you or not. I will tell you from my personal experience. I had a cadet on board, and he came with me as an assistant electrician for 6 months, and after the first 6 months on board he said this life is not for him, and he quit the seaman life. That is how difficult it is for some people. They will quit after 5-6 years of university studies. One voyage was enough to know that this life is not for him, and that is fine. You have only one life, and it is very, very important to do something that you can enjoy. If you don't enjoy your life here, you will have a very difficult time. No matter how much money they give you, you will be very unhappy, and it is very important to be happy with your life as a seafarer, because life on board is difficult. We do not have internet, we do not have good food like you have at home, all our loved ones are far away, and we are alone here. We just work and that's it, nothing else. Even the salary that we receive, we don't even see it because it's going in a bank account, and we only see our money when we go home after 5, 6, 8 months. And that's about it for today's vlog. As you can see, this is not much, but like I said at the beginning, and I have said this in all my vlogs, the seaman life is not for everybody. We come here just for the money and that's it. You don't need a lot of comfort. When you go home, you can do whatever you want. But if you have additional questions, I wait for you in the comment section down below. As always, thank you very much for your attention, and if you are not subscribed already, I hope you will subscribe to the channel, and you will see my future vlogs about the seaman life. Sometimes I post about the interesting stuff that we do on board, like when we have a party or a barbecue, and sometimes I will give you technical stuff depending what jobs we do on board. We have a lot of work to do. There is always something to do when you are on board. I am an electrical officer. I am most of the time in engine room. We always have some bearings to change, some motors to repair, some electronics to replace. Every time is busy. We have a saying on board, every day is Monday. We do not have free days. I hope you have enjoyed it and have a nice day, guys.